Have you ever felt, without apparent reason, that your mood suddenly plummets? You are surrounded by people, lights, laughter, and yet within you, a shadow ignites. Other times it takes merely stepping into a space to perceive a strange heaviness, a density that seems to drain your vitality. This is not imagination, nor is it coincidence. What you feel is negative energy, the invisible presence of dense vibrations that all of us, at some point, have experienced. The world is woven from energy. What you see, the body objects, the walls surrounding you, is merely the surface of an invisible ocean where everything vibrates, interacts, and transforms. Just as air carries aromas and sounds, it also carries emotions and thoughts. And every human emotion, every idea projected with intensity, leaves traces in the subtle field we share. This is why, when you move through a space charged with fear, sadness, or anger, your body senses it before your mind comprehends it. But here lies the secret many forget. Negative energy does not have to remain with you. You can perceive it, recognize it, and with a gesture as simple as 1 minute of conscious breathing and visualization, you can release it from your energetic field. You do not need complex rituals or hours of meditation. This video becomes your map. First, we will explore what negative energy truly means and how different traditions throughout history have understood it. Then, we will enter the concrete techniques that, in merely 60 seconds, can help you cleanse your being and restore clarity. Finally, we will share practical wisdom so that this practice becomes a habit of constant protection and renewal. Imagine this. Each day you carry invisible dust that accumulates. What would happen if you never bathed? Exactly this occurs on the energetic plane. If you do not cleanse your inner field, dense energy accumulates until it blocks your vitality. Liberating yourself from it is not a luxury. It is necessity, as essential as breathing and drinking water. This practice is therefore a spiritual act of sovereignty, reclaiming your space, your energy, your right to vibrate high and in peace. The power rests in your hands, here and now. You yourself are the temple, and your breath is the key. What you will discover is not merely how to relax in a minute, but how to activate your energetic shield, ignite your inner light, and transform any moment of darkness into an instant of awakening. In ancient India, the Vedic texts spoke of prana, the vital energy flowing through all beings. When prana became blocked or contaminated, illness, sadness, and malaise arose. The sages did not hesitate. Negative energy was the result of dark thoughts, unresolved emotions, or external influences, and it had to be released through mantras, breathing, and meditation. The Chinese Taoists expressed it differently. For them, life was a delicate balance between yin and yang, complementary forces. When this equilibrium broke, disharmony appeared, perceived as dense or harmful energy. Their practices of qigong and acupuncture had one clear aim: restore the flow of qi and expel what disturbed the natural order. In Egyptian mysticism, they spoke of dark influences that could inhabit a person like sticky shadows, clinging to the aura. Temple priests performed purification rituals with water, fire, and incense, convinced that negative energy was a parasite feeding on spiritual weakness. These ceremonies were not mere theater. They were acts of remembrance that energy can be shifted through intention and sacred practice. The Judeo-Christian tradition also knew this notion, though under different names: evil spirit, temptation, or even curse. It was not always external entities. but a field of thought and emotion that contaminated consciousness. This is why prayer, confession, and blessing were central methods of inner cleansing, ways to realign the soul with divine light. Indigenous peoples of the Americas spoke of bad wind or bad air. When someone carried negative energy, shamans said a dark wind had entered their body. To expel it, they used chants, dances, and sacred plants like tobacco or sage. These rituals were not superstition. They were sophisticated understandings that energy moves with intention, and that discomfort can be dissolved in an instant when spirit and community work in harmony. Philosophically, what all these traditions shared was a profound idea. Negative energy is not an invincible enemy, but a temporary density. It is not an eternal condemnation, but a passing state that can be transformed. It is like shadow. It seems powerful, but disappears the moment you light the flame. Thus, the historical study reveals that the struggle against negative energy is not about fleeing from it, but about remembering your inner power to transmute it. This wisdom, passed down through millennia, whispers the same truth. You are never powerless. Negative energy is like invisible smoke that, although unseen, permeates everything in its path. It has no physical form, but manifests in your body as exhaustion, in your mind as repetitive thoughts, and in your heart as a weight difficult to name. What is most striking is that it does not always come from outside. Many times, we generate it ourselves by feeding emotions of fear, rage, or sadness without releasing them. Imagine your mind as a river. When it flows freely, its waters are crystalline and fresh. But if you throw garbage into it, resentments, dark thoughts, endless worries, the water stagnates and becomes murky. That is negative energy, a blocked inner river, unable to refresh and nourish you. Just as stagnant water begins to smell foul, stagnant emotions begin to intoxicate your energetic field. The crucial understanding is that this density is not permanent. It is not a curse attached to you forever. It is merely a layer of dust accumulated on a mirror. One cleansing gesture, and the light reflects clearly again. Negative energy only has power if you ignore it or identify with it, believing you are that shadow. But the moment you decide to see it as what it truly is, a passing cloud, you have already taken the first step toward dissolving it. Here enters the secret of 1-minute liberation. Most spiritual traditions agree that the key to cleansing energy is activating conscious breathing and clear intention. Because breathing is not merely a biological process, it is a bridge between the physical and the spiritual. Each inhalation is like taking a sip of light, and each exhalation is like releasing accumulated smoke. The initial exercise is simple yet powerful. Close your eyes, bring your attention to the center of your chest, and breathe deeply. As you inhale, imagine golden light entering you, expanding like purifying fire. As you exhale, visualize all dark density leaving your body, dissolving into the air like ash scattered by wind. Do this for 1 minute, and you will feel something shift. Shoulders relax, mind clarifies, heart beats more gently. This process is so swift because negative energy cannot resist the light of conscious attention. It is like entering a dark room with a candle. Darkness seems dense, but vanishes instantly when you ignite the flame. Conscious breathing and visualization are that candle you always carry with you. Until now, we have understood that negative energy can dissolve with a simple minute of consciousness, breathing, and focus. However, the phenomenon is more complex than it first appears. There are subtle dimensions worth exploring, for within them lies the true art of spiritual transmutation. One of these dimensions is that negative energy is not always an enemy. Although we tend to see it as something to avoid at all costs, it can function as a disguised teacher. Discomfort and tension in the body are signals that something is out of balance. If we ignore them, we become enslaved to their weight. But if we listen to them, they become compasses pointing toward what needs healing. Thus, negativity is not punishment. It is a message showing us where transformation is needed. Another crucial aspect is the tendency to absorb what does not belong to us. Many times we carry emotions and thoughts that are not our own. When we contact angry people or dense environments, we absorb that vibration as if it were ours. Here lies a paradox. We try to resolve a weight that never belonged to us. Therefore, when releasing negative energy, you are not only cleansing your field, you are also returning what was never yours to where it came from. That return is simple energetic justice. Each being must take responsibility for what they emit. Some believe that freeing themselves from negativity means eliminating it completely, living in perpetual absolute peace. But this is impossible. Life is movement, and in that movement, there will always be moments of density. True power lies not in pretending negativity will never return, but in developing the capacity to recognize and dissolve it swiftly. It is like physical hygiene. You do not stop getting dirty, but you learn to cleanse yourself each day. There is a subtle dimension, often overlooked: the use of imagination as a tool. When you imagine light entering your body, when you see shadow dissolving as you exhale, you are not dreaming. You are communicating with your energetic field in the language it understands. The body responds. What the mind imagines with force, the soul translates into experience. Finally, we must consider the collective dimension of negative energy. It does not exist only in the individual. It accumulates in groups, cities, entire nations. Learning to liberate ourselves individually not only heals us, it also contributes to cleansing the common fabric. Each conscious breath is an act of service to the whole. Knowing that in a single minute you can free yourself from negative energy is an immense power. But the true art does not lie only in extinguishing the shadow when it appears. It lies in cultivating a way of life that reduces its accumulation. Just as you do not wait until you are dehydrated to drink water, you should not wait until you feel burdened to care for your energy. Here are practices to integrate into your daily life to remain light, centered, and radiant. First, the power of conscious breathing. Each morning before your day begins, dedicate 1 minute to breathing with intention. Imagine that you inhale golden light expanding in your chest, and as you exhale, visualize density dissolving like smoke. This gesture reprograms your energetic field from the start of your day. Second, daily energetic hygiene. Just as you shower to cleanse your physical body, establish a ritual of energetic cleansing. It can be as simple as gently shaking your arms and legs when you arrive home, or visualizing water washing away all foreign vibration. Even lighting a white candle or burning incense serves as a symbolic reminder that you are purifying your space. Third, the importance of invisible boundaries. Not all negative energy is yours. Learn to recognize when you are absorbing emotions from others. Before leaving home, visualize a luminous sphere surrounding you, a translucent shield that allows love but repels density. This strengthens your energetic field and prevents you from carrying what does not belong to you. Fourth, use your body as a tool. Movement is key to releasing dense energy. Walk barefoot on earth or shake your body like animals do when releasing tension. Even dancing freely can act as a ritual of discharge. Your body is the temple where energy moves, and when you activate it, shadow dissipates. Fifth, words as medicine. Speaking is vibrating. If you fill your day with "I am exhausted" or "everything goes wrong," you feed the density. Sixth, reconnect with nature. Earth, water, fire, and air are the great purifiers. A walk among trees, conscious sunbathing, or holding a stone can balance your energy. Nature never becomes permanently contaminated. It always regenerates. By touching it, you remember your own capacity to regenerate. We have traveled a fascinating path, from recognizing negative energy to the simplest and most profound methods of dissolving it in merely 1 minute. What seemed a mystery reserved for ancient sages now reveals itself as a practice accessible to anyone willing to look inward and ignite their own light. The great teaching is clear. Darkness never had power by itself. It was always absence of light, and the light was always within you. Negative energy, with all its appearance of weight and density, dissolves the moment you remember your capacity to breathe consciously, to visualize, to move your body, and to speak words that elevate. It is not an invincible enemy. It is an illusion that shatters with the force of your presence. Think about this. How many times did a repetitive thought, an emotion from another, or a painful memory govern your entire day? How much time did you give to shadows that did not deserve your attention? Now you know, you do not need long hours to free yourself. 1 minute of consciousness is enough. 1 minute may seem small, but it is sufficient to change the course of your energy, to redirect your day, and to remind you that you are master of your vibration. This knowledge is more than a technique. It is a call to spiritual sovereignty. You are not a victim of your environment, of others, or of circumstances. You are a beacon capable of radiating light, even in the midst of storms. And when you choose to ignite your inner light, you do not only heal yourself, you also illuminate those around you. Your conscious breath becomes collective medicine, your calm a refuge for others, your elevated vibration a silent contribution to the world's balance. Life will continue to present challenges, dense places, and burdened people. We cannot control the external, but we can always choose how to respond. That choice is true freedom, deciding whether to surrender your energy to shadow or reclaim it for yourself. Each minute of disconnection from negativity is an act of resistance, a reminder that you did not come into the world to drag chains, but to unfold wings. So the next time you feel the weight of negative energy, do not fear it. Breathe, visualize, move your body, speak words of power. Remember that the minute you give yourself can become the portal to a lighter day, a more serene heart, and a freer spirit. And if this message resonated with you, share it with those who need to remember that negative energy does not define them. Together, we can expand this wisdom and ignite more lights in a world that often forgets its own clarity.